show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello and welcome to Lucifer Raceway and the Slothead Cruise live on Friday evening here in Europe and probably morning somewhere and midday somewhere else. Welcome everybody. Let's take a look and see if we got some people. I'm sure, hey, we got Ryan here, awesome. Of course, Slightly Mad. And he's challenged me. I can't handle the facts. Oh, someone's been watching the A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Well, today we are going to be. I'm not going to say we're not going to be controversial. We're going to try to be as objective as possible and look at some facts. And if you agree or disagree, you can comment in the chat if you're here. If you watch this later on, because you are working or something else and you're going to watch it later, get down in the comments and write about it. Because I think it's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic. So anyway, Slightly Mad is here. So fast. Good morning, so fast. Welcome. Neil is here, of course. G'day, mate. Bo is here. Hello, Bo. Welcome. Yeah, so I'm sure all of you have seen last week. Lando broke the suite of Mercedes and Red Bull since, what is it, 2016 or something like that, or even longer. So there's been a lot of, hey Benny, welcome. For nothing, oh sorry, I keep forgetting, this was funny. Giving you a reason for not to install your mudroom sink. Yeah, well, I'm here for you, That was funny. We will take a look quickly. I haven't had much on the bench since I've had the last couple of weeks. The bench has been busy, but I have had some there. But we also look at what's happening on the Slotsync racing side, give you some updates on how this week has gone and what's coming up next week. There's been a couple of interesting evolutions, and we might even actually do hot laps today. Maybe we should do one of those races, show you how I work with it and how uncomplicated it is. So I haven't done my race with the Lola yet, the Acura. Sorry, it's the Aston Martin Lola. That's the one. I haven't done that yet, so we might do that. That could be a little bit of change of seeing me sitting here on the chair. Let's do some racing as well. It takes about a minute. I need to get under a minute to be really good, but it's hard. It's hard, but I'm only a minute plus something on most of my cars. But we'll see. The Lola looks promising. And then we have the controversial question. The question is controversial, but the approach to it does not have to be controversial, I think. It started last Saturday when Shane Hughes at Hughes Garage Slot Car Adventures posted his 100th episode, and he in the middle of it, about half an hour in, he was sitting pondering by his pool, just like his first episode started. He was sitting there, you could see his feet, and he's pondering by the pool. And on episode 1, he asked the question, these slot cars, is that still a thing? And then a 2-year journey started with him building a track, moving it to another room, building another track, and done some awesome videos. If you have not seen them, you have to go and watch them. They're so inspirational. And actually, his videos came up by accident into my channel. I bought a Carrera Go track, Formula One from Costco with Mercedes and a Red Bull car. And I thought, oh, that could be fun. Let's do some racing with that. And then I watched. I had fun with that, and then I watched one of Shane's videos, and I continued watching more of them, and then I started investing in a larger track and more cars, and here I am, broke and but having a lot of fun though. So that's that. What else is new? As we are seeing people pop in Australia, there's apparently a law that kicked in 2 days ago, where any underage or 16 and below kid they're not allowed to do social media. So the likes like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and so forth. So they're not allowed in there. So that's kind of I guess it's a good thing, but also a sad thing, because then they cannot watch inspirational YouTube videos and get into the hobby, etc. But then apparently, in order to have a channel, you also have to prove that you are not 16, that you're older. So you have to submit all your personal data and so forth into the government, and that database is handled by some company in Israel, I think it was, an Israel-based company. But so there might be some people that object to sharing all their personal information on the internet to some government or etc., which I think in general is a good idea, to not share too much of personal information on the interwebs. So that might mean that let's say that one of our Aussie friends, you have MDG, UC Slot Cars, Slot Car Hub, etc. is of course slightly mad. If any one of them does not submit their data, they will not have access to their channel, and they cannot change, they cannot comment or upload videos. So let's see what Wolves has been up. Well, you did the first live. Yes, exactly, the Slothead Nationals. And had people walking in and watching and stealing our bloody mafia seats. Yeah, no, I saw that. I think I saw most of it. Since this was in the middle of the night, I might have fallen asleep occasionally, but woken up and continued watching. But anyway, I watched it, and it's always entertaining. And it was your first live, so congratulations. I think you did a great job. And I think maybe next thing for you guys to invest is some kind of tripod for your iPhone or camera or whatever you're using to stream, so you don't have to hold this stuff, because can be tiring, especially if you cover a whole competition. And oh, Fox is here too. Oh, dang it! I am so sorry, Fox. I thought you were getting your beauty sleep and letting Wolves do all the crazy madness and then catch up in a more normal hour. But you're, of course, very, very welcome. So that's all good fun. Yeah, so following, I've heard some rumors that the Aussie law is not going to kick in until the 27th or so forth. They're still trying to figure things out. So, yeah, so we'll see what happens. And what does Bo comes up with a long one here? Beware of the youth limitation will come here in the EU as well. So yeah, so it might happen here as well. And I think it starts with Australia, and then maybe other regions and countries will pick up after that. So interesting times ahead on the social media. I think initially I think there's some kind of good intention with it, to make sure that kids are not being groomed and exposed to stuff that they should not have exposure to. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, yeah, no submission, just face recognition will be needed. Okay, so I mean, face recognition is good. It's just take a picture of any of our mugs. You can see, oh, you were old farts. We're not 16. I wish they would take me as a 16-year-old. That would be a lot of fun. What's incoming? There are rumors that today is the day when Slothead's going to start shipping the Audi e-tron, the four-wheel driven hypercar. I've had a lot of fun with the Slothead's hypercars, with the Acura and the Lola Aston Martin and so forth. And I also have another Lola, like a green Hulk colored. So we'll see. AI will cause a lot of unemployment, and that's just the beginning. AI will reach the human brain capacity at the end of the year. Well, I disagree with you, Bo, on that one. I think AI is definitely a threat for a lot of things, but I still think there's quite a lot of time before AI will catch up to a human brain level. I think AI will be, at the best, a very, very, very good generalist. I think AI will become like at the most, like a Swiss Army knife. But I mean, we shouldn't get into this. But I mean, if Swiss Army knife has a knife, but it will never, if you're going to cut tomatoes or cucumber, a kitchen knife will always beat AI. So the specialized tool will always beat the Swiss Army knife, even though Swiss Army knives are really good. So yeah, we'll see. But maybe that's another day's topic. Let's stick to slot cars. But yeah, I'm not invested in AI, if we put it that way. It costs way too much. I mean, they're losing massive amount. We're talking billions of dollars. There's absolutely no profits in the AI business. And in order for AI to become profitable, it will cost too much. All the ChatGPTs and so forth will cost so much money that the general people will not be able to use it. So I think we're going to see, it's like a pendulum. It swings back and forth and it's going to stabilize. So, well, you're not informed well. Yeah, well, I would disagree with you. I am pretty connected. Let's put it that way. But we're not going to start an argument on that. We all both have rights to our own opinions, and there's nothing wrong with either opinion. But I am pretty well informed. Let's put it that way. But anyway, Slotsync racing. What has happened? Well, this week it was F1 week. Of course, since Lando winning, that's so sweet. Even though I wouldn't have minded if Piastri or Max would have won, it would have been fun. Hey, B-Rad, welcome. There we go. B-Rad saying hello to everybody. I'm one of those buddies as well. Don't poke the beer. Oh, okay. Out and about driving, Ryan. Yeah, be safe. Don't go crazy. You can always watch this afterwards. There's not going to be any hype things that you're not going to miss if you watch it later when you park your car. So drive carefully. So good to have you here as well, B-Rad. Love your last video. It was a lot of fun. Even though I did miss the Texaco station, it caught me by shock. But now I've taken it aside and built all the scenery, so that's all good. But get it back there. So Slotsync racing, it was F1. So I had the NSR F1 with the 7-Up Shumi, and then I'm racing now with the on the Carrera F1 category. It's Red Bull Max. And it's driving really well. It's surprisingly well. And if I look at, so the Red Bull, Carrera Red Bull, with a little bit of tungsten putty and a lot of love, beats the NSR F1s. I must be doing something wrong, because I'm really struggling with getting the Leclerc Ferrari running well. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. But anyway, the Carrera one is going well. On Slothead, it was prototypes, and that's the Lola. Let's bring the Lola up here. This guy. Yeah, so I'm very pleased with how it's been behaving, and I think I managed to tune this properly. But let's do some hot laps with this Lola and see how it goes. Do I need to clean the tires? Yeah, probably do, but I'll do that later. And then we have MR slot car. I only have one car, and thank God right now it's all classes for the MR slot car category. Yeah, Bo. Yeah, so I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna drop it, Bo, and we can have an offline discussion around this, and we can share notes on what we are seeing. But let's see if what happens if I do this and this. Now you should see the Slotsync racing menu here. You always get into the leaderboard. I'm still at number 4, all in all, total with all categories, all types. I'm at 4, which is surprising, but it's the Lola. That happened last week. But let's go in and check the championship. This is where you get your weekly assignments. So let's start with Carrera 132. I did run the Red Bull, Max Verstappen, and I'm at 4th right now, which means I get 3 points. Next week it's going to be Group 5, which means I'm going to run the BMW M1. And here we can see, yeah, I'm at 4th. I might do maybe a couple of times later tonight or tomorrow, try to improve this time, but yeah, Vince and Tucci here, they have some fast cars. I don't know what they're doing with it. So I have not done the endurance yet for that one, so we'll see how that goes. MR slot car, I should be numero uno. Let's see. Yeah, first, so I get 6 points there. Doing pretty good with my Jaguar here, my Jag. NSR, it was the F1. This is where I've been racing both Leclerc and Schumi. Schumi does slightly better, so currently, yeah, I'm first with the Schumi, the 7-Up livery. So I'm first and collecting points. We like that. Next week it's going to be Modern GT, which means my McLaren. And Scale Auto, running the Cadillac there. This next week I'll try the Peugeot 6X8. I'm currently first. They're still today and tomorrow, so when the Americans wake up they might beat me. So I'm not resting yet, but this is on the race. I have not done the endurance yet, so we need to do that. That's going to happen tonight. And in the slotted category, we are running prototypes this week. I'm first, and next week it's going to be Modern GT, which means the Nissan GT-R. Quite a lot of points so far. I'm first in the overall season, so we'll see how it ends. But let's switch back. Now we should see me again if everything goes correctly. Slightly mad. I'm off until next weekend. Fox will be doing chocolate pudding here, then off to the property depending on weather. Ah, okay, gotcha. So I'm gonna put Lando away. I've had Lando displayed. Let's see if I can bring these out. Here is next week's lineup. For Carrera, it's the BMW M1. For Nissan, I have the GTR, Nissan GTR for slotted. NSR is going to be my McLaren. And then we have the Peugeot 4 Scale Auto. And then we have finally MR slot car, the Jaguar. I have done some on my bench. I had the McLaren, I had it chipped because this has been analog. So I decided to chip it, and because it's just much more easier to run everything chipped. And I've done the same with the Lola. I put the digital chip in it, so now I have a sensor here. You can run it with analog mode, but I just find it a lot easier to just go ahead and race with it as is. So let's prep this car a little bit. I noticed that the braids are, oh, there we go, really dirty. You just have to be smarter than the computer. AI problem solved. Well. Oh, Joe is here. Hey, welcome, Joe. Good to see you. We're in the middle of talking about Slotsync racing. Joe is one of the brains behind it, together with Pete. And I must say, I must give them compliments. It's really, really fun. It gives you a purpose to race every week, and you try different cars and you prep the cars to make sure that they run well. But clean the braids. Let's do a little bit of a lint roller on the wheels, because they are normally dirty birdie. There we go. Pop it on the track. And let's see. Do the F1 cars come with replaceable nose and wings? Well, so yes, it's if you ask Bo, he knows about everything about, especially about the Carrera cars. If you lose a wing, if you break a wing or a nose, the older cars are really hard to find replacement parts. The newer ones, you can still get them. So if you buy, for example, the RB20 with the Max Verstappen or Perez, and you have a tendency to break them, buy a couple of extras and try to drive carefully. But you, for at least for Carrera, you can find them. And we'll be on Marty's Live next Tuesday for the official launch. Yeah, exactly. So don't miss it out on Tuesday on Two Lines. I think Pete and Joe will be there and talk about since now it's still beta testing, but the official launch will be on in January. But I can recommend you, if you want to try it out, do it now in December. If you have a Carrera track and have a smart app, then you're all good to go. So and then I promise you will have fun. Anyway, Bo, yeah, I'm going to let AI go. It's not about slot cars. I'm going to stick to slot cars. I'll have an AI channel or an AI live later, and then we'll jump into that. Let's try to set this thing up now with a little bit of cameras. If we have one camera like that, you should see my hand waving, hello, hello, behind the floodlight here. It's a little bit overexposed. Ah, well, that's good enough. And then let's see if I can do this and then do that. No, that didn't work well. There we go. Now look at that. Now you should see my hand waving in synchronization, up and down, up and down. From two different angles. We have camera one where you see the Lewis Hamilton replacing the horse in the Ferrari logo flag, and that's the far end with the Rolex watchtower. And then you have the little Badlands. This is actually a replica of Wolf's shed where he lives, and the container where he keeps all his slot cars. So this is in the middle of the desert and it's an actual replica, 100% true. And this is the little shed where he lives. Correct, Wolf's. So let's see, what do I need to do? I need to turn on the track, turn on my little Frankenslot. Really happy with the Frankenslot actually. And turn on Smart Race app. I have the Lola here. So, okay, we'll turn down the volume a little bit on that one. And I'm a guy, so I can't do two things at the same time. So it's going to be, when I finally do the, oh, red flag, oh, come on, I touched the controller.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, go. Red flag.
I mean, come on. See, I can't do two things at the same time. Now I'm going to focus on, I'm going to do a couple of practice laps, and then we'll see if we can do a race attempt with the Lola for Slotsync racing. It's struggling a little, we'll warm it up. Let's get it. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Normally I take a couple of more extra laps, but hey, let's, and then I click erase, and I've set the race now with laps, and I have a certain number of laps I need to do, which is about 230 meters in total, 238 something that I need to race on my track. And this, when you run the endurance, it's on time. It's 20 minutes, as many laps as possible. Then you want to start by the race line. But there's a running start on the race. So I actually start all the way over there. So I can take and hopefully have a good speed. So it only starts counting when I pass the starting line here. But let's give it a try and see if we crash or not. 13 laps, let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Crap, I crashed. All right, that happens. Of course, I ruined the barrier as well. Let's see if I can get it back. Yeah. All right, that was not good. 2 laps. Let's give it one more try. If I don't make it, then I should not be doing this live. I'm not like Joe. Joe can race live and talk. I can't. I'm just so fully focused. I'm going to start closer up.
1, go.
Oh crap, the barrier is in the way. Let's continue. No, it gets stuck in the barrier. Oh, I need to do some track repair. Okay, I'll finish. It's only one more lap. It's not going to be the best ones. Yeah, the barrier is broken. Underneath. There we go. Okay, let's see. That was not good. 1 minute and 9 seconds. Yeah, that's not going to get even close to beating any of the guys. Let's see. Let's do that. Yeah, so now under here the barrier came off in the first crash, so I have to redo that and see what we can do. More like a crash and talk on my end. Well, no, I wouldn't agree. I mean, you do pretty well with when you're racing. I need to practice that a little bit more. So, loosen your brakes. Yeah, maybe I should. I've been testing right now with the Lola if I can go pretty aggressively into the corner and then hit the brakes just at the top. Since most of my turns, they start with a 3, radius 3, and then radius 2, and then radius 1, and back to 2, and then a 3. So you can go pretty aggressively and just have a short brake time at the top and then full throttle. I have been under 1 minute with the Lola, but I think it's mainly because it's... I even had... No, wait a minute, let's go and take a look. I actually had one really good one with the Lola. If I switched over to this, and then we go to the leadership, the leaderboard, I managed to do a 53.140 with the Lola Aston Martin, which is extremely good in my world, with my capabilities and my tuning skills. Let's see, where's the sharpness? Is over there. So it can go really fast when I'm focused, hydrated, and newly peed, I guess. And so we'll get back on it after the live. But I'll, yeah, anywho, it's a fast car. If you don't have the new Lola, gosh darn it, I would say, it's a really fast car. And that's why I'm really looking forward to the Audi version, the Audi e-tron, and see how that does. Let's turn off all the apps and laps and haps. There we go, close, shut down, get less background noise. So I'll try to loosen the brakes, see how that goes. But now, it's time. Maybe we should have a little... The question, slot cars, is that still a thing? Shane made some bold statements in that video, episode 100, and he also talked about slot cars, if the slot cars are back, that no, they're not back, and it's mainly driven by some commercial forces, etc. But I've tried to take a more objective approach to this. So let's see if you agree with me or disagree. I would say, let's look at the no side first. Is slot car still a thing? And we say no. Well, why would I say that? Well, there's a limited, I'm taking some notes, I have them here if you wonder why I'm looking down. There's a limited market scale, right? So if you look back at the heydays of the 60s, where there were like 3,000 commercial tracks in the US only. Now there are about 180, so there's a difference. Most of the setups that are today, they are home setups or they are private clubs, so they're not open for the public as much as it was back in the heydays. It's not a mass market. We just have to realize it's a small enthusiast base right now that are buying it. It is a niche hobby. And on what grounds do I say that? Well, it's not a widely adopted cultural phenomenon. When it is, then yes, then it's not a niche anymore, but it's not. So if you go into any store and if you look at toy stores, etc., there's not big sections. People don't talk about it. it's not on the news, or you don't see it everywhere like some other toys can be. And then there are some other arguments before the no side, is that there are some barriers, right, to get into the hobby. One of the barriers is space. So for example, most people have tracks in their garage, or they have a shed. I'm occupying my whole living room with my track, and I can do that. And so I can do that because I'm single with my cat, right? For good reasons, trust me. So I can sacrifice that space. And people that have a garage, they can take some space from there. But if you are maybe 16 or 18 years old, you don't even have a garage or a shed where you can do your hobby, right? And you probably live in your boy room upstairs, and you can't take the whole family's living room or a major part of the room. There's a cost. I mean, if we look ourselves into the mirror and look at how much have we really invested in our tracks, our home setups, like the whole Carrera track that I have, all the cars that we buy over and over again, if we start adding those up, it's a pretty interesting sum. Even though I know we don't talk about how many cars we have and how much money we put into it, but we know it's a lot, right? So if you're 16, 18 years old, you don't have that money yet. And if you do, you have other priorities. It's traveling the world, or partying, or maybe putting money aside for your apartment or a house or so forth. So cost is definitely a barrier for slot cars to be a thing. And then you have the last barrier that I actually document is the complexity. So what's about complexity? Well, so if you really want to tune a car and do it well, it's a challenge. It is a challenge, and we can't say that away. And it takes some learning and practicing and trying and retrying to get that right. So let's see. And then also, if you look at controllers, we need to show you. Let's see if I can do this. Move over. No, that was a quick one. Here's one controller. It comes with a little box that God knows what it does, but it's there. Has numbers and lights and stuff. And then we look at the actual controller. It has a anti-brake thingy here. You have a knob there, a flick soft up and down, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different knobs in here. Pretty darn intimidating if you're new to the hobby and you're coming from the plunger style and trying to figure out, so what are all these knobs doing? And if we look at this one, this was funny. I found it on a website where it said, this is the best slot car controller for beginners, the Parma slot. Okay, so let's look at this now. I'm a beginner. I have first of all the box with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knobs. And then on the controller, there are another 3 knobs and probably something up here where we put in a cartridge, whatever that is, all different kinds of cartridges. This can be pretty darn intimidating and complex if you are a beginner trying to get into to the hobby, right? So those were kind of my arguments that I could. And then the last one on the no side before we get into the yes side. On the no side is slot cars are competing with the digital entertainment. You have stuff on like in VR, and I think there are already a few driving experience where you can sit with your VR headset and you can really like look around, and I think that could be pretty interesting. And then have online gaming in general. You have iRacing, you have the F1 esports, etc. And these guys, they have all these big chairs where you can sit in and race, and you can compete like in big tournaments. and they're the good ones are making over $100,000 in salary on a yearly basis. So you can make pretty good money if you're good at online gaming or online racing with esports or iRacing, etc. How much is the top racer in the US or the top racer in Europe? How much money are they making per year on their slot car racing? So I think that's another argument that no, it's not a thing, and they're not back on the no side. So now let's shift over to the more positive side. Well, we look at on the yes side, and we have accessibility. You have all these different scales, all the way from HO or 1/64th to 1/43rd, 1/32nd, 1/24th. There's a lot of different scales of cars. You have different tracks all the way from the Carrera First. I think Scalextric has something as well similar to the Carrera First, where you have Peppa Pig or Mario, etc. These type of figurines that you're racing with. All the way to home tracks like I have here, my Carrera track. Scalextric has their tracks, and then you have even Polycar, Scale Auto if you want even larger tracks, 4 lanes, etc. That's awesome that it's actually available. There's been a lot of modernization as well in the sport if you compare to the 60s, to the heydays. There's a lot of collaborations. Look at Scalextric, what they're doing, collaborating with Fast and Furious, they're collaborating with Harry Potter, Batman, and all these different franchises where they are bringing out cars and tracks, etc., which I think can definitely be appealing to the younger audience. The cars, if we look at the cars, they're way more realistic models nowadays. I mean, if you look at the RB20 from Max Verstappen, even the Leclerc from NSR, they are pretty darn close to the real thing. If you look at the details and the decals and so forth. Scalextric has also, they're coming up with the Williams from Sainz Williams, etc. They had Albon, they have of course Lando, the reigning world champion right now. And there's so many details on these cars, even the Google colors on the wheels, etc. So I think that speaks for slot cars, that there's so many cool realistic models. Then you have all the digital features. I think that's also something that attracts not the hardcore analog wooden track steam-driven car racing people, but for us others that want to replicate maybe a more realistic racing experience. Like Joe is a good example where we've been playing around with the DRS functions, and you have the Slotsync Racing, the website where you can actually compete in your home environment on your own with a lot of people around the world. You can, when you have a digital system, even with 2 tracks only, I mean, it's hard to have 4 tracks in a home environment, but at least 2, you can do overtakes, you can block a lane. If you have someone that's coming behind you, you can block the lane, the fast lane for him and so forth, just like they do in NASCAR, Formula 1, there is blocking. And it's tricky to overtake. You have weather impact where you can set the possibility for rain, etc. Coming in, that's maybe 50% chance of rain, and if the rain comes, you have to go into the pit and replace tires. Otherwise, your car will slow down. What's up with the camera? Come on, hang with me. Let's see. There we go. So with the weather, if rain comes and you haven't changed your tires to rain tires, you can only drive maybe 80% or 50% of your speed, and then you're forced into pit and change. You can have ghost cars, so I can race with maybe 3, 4, 5 ghost cars and myself, and have a really busy track. So these are all fun things, and you can create this kind of realistic race environment. So that's I think it's a pro talking for the slot cars being a thing. And then of course then you have the nostalgia. It's us old farts reliving our youth with slot cars, and we get to play with cars. That's a lot of fun. But I think in most cases, like in my own case, I'm introducing this to my daughter, and she loves it. When she's coming back next week for Christmas, and we race a lot. And then also I've introduced my godson and his kids, and so we introduce this to younger ones in our environments as we are reliving our youth. What else? And it's also digital detox. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you look at youth right now, it's screens, tons of screens. But if you get them into trying slot car racing, you take them from screens to a kind of a tangible, interactive fun. And I've noticed that with several, I had the neighbors' kids over, they're like, whoa, this is so much fun, that they get totally engaged in racing, and they're connecting in a different way that you don't do if you play Tetris or Minefield against each other on your phone or computer. And then the last argument on the yes side is the community. It offers a group activity, no matter if you have a home set up or if you have a private club. You meet regularly, maybe once a week or once a month or whatever, and you do your races. So that community thing, you go there, you sit there, you tune cars, you chat, you talk amongst other racers, and then you race different groups and so forth. And it's almost like the racing becomes a reason to meet, right? So you have a regular Thursdays, 7 o'clock, we meet at the clubhouse and we do some racing, but then you network, you talk with people and so forth, and have fun and banter, of course. And then you have Discord, where we have a community, and also YouTube here right now as we are speaking. We have a chat, we're talking. I'm ignoring the chat as I'm talking away. Mike is here. Filthy is here as well. Look at all the people popping in. It's awesome. Let's see if there's anything I have missed. Hey, Todd is here as well. Told You Racing. We have to go and check out his Monday ramble, metal ramble. It's always good fun to see them. So Monday evenings. So we had all those arguments for the no side, where we talked about competing with digital entertainment. There's some barriers, it's a niche hobby, limited market scale. And on the yes side, we had the accessibility, the modernization of the slot cars in general, the community, and digital detox and the nostalgia. So if we would come to some kind of conclusion, the best conclusion I can come to is that, is slot cars a thing? I would say, yeah, it is, but it's a different thing. It's not the thing it was in the 60s, 70s. It's a different thing today. Are they back? Yes, they are back, but in a different form, right? So it's not back as it was in 60s with, 3,000 commercial tracks, and you can buy slot cars everywhere, and you have so many different models, etc. So I think we just have to accept that, yeah, slot cars, it is a thing, but it's a different thing. And what that is could be different for each and every one of us. For some, it is to go around in one lane driving analog, and for others it's a digital experience where you change lanes and you have the racing experience of a simulated real race. So like Toji always said, there's no wrong way of doing the hobby. Everyone can do the hobby in their own way. So therefore I would say, yeah, it is a thing, but it's a different thing from what it was. And yeah, it's back, but it's back in a different form. It's back in a way that, yeah, so like Brad is saying that the slot cars are back in the hobby world, mainstream still sucks. And maybe mainstream, it will never get to mainstream because of the reasons I mentioned in the no area. I think it's going to be hard to be mainstream again. But it's definitely in the hobby area, and we're having tons of fun with it. And I think it will continue growing slowly. There'll be new people be introduced. Maybe the target group is old farts that are is about to become old farts. Those are the ones we need to target so they get back into slot cars. And there'll be limited purchase channels. We have our specialty hobby stores where we get our stuff. We have our favorite dealer that we buy things from. But the things we buy are pretty darn cooler than they were in the 60s. Much more fun tracks, much more fun cars, more different car types. I remember when I was young, there were like 2 different types of cars, and they were pretty plastic and not realistic at all, at least here in Sweden. But now I can get NASCARs, I can get new modern NASCARs, old NASCARs, Group 5, Group C, hypercars, Formula 1 cars, and there's such a wide variety of cars. You can spend a fortune if you have to focus on something. So I think for me, it's more about accepting that slot cars, it's a different thing, and they're back in a different form. And it's not going to be mainstream. It's going to be a niche hobby, and we're going to have tons of fun with it. We have a fantastic community where we are meeting in these lives and in the chats of other lives, and we talk on Discord, ask questions, and help each other, and so forth. So I think all that is worthwhile, and as long as you're having fun with the hobby, hey, stick to it and do it the way you like. If you like magnets, go with magnets. If you don't, take them out. If you like wood tracks, go with wood tracks. If you like digital, go with digital. If you like analog, go with analog. There's no wrong way. Just make sure that you have fun, and you do it in a way that you have fun. Don't feel the pressure of doing it the way someone says it behind the camera, that this is the only way. Oh, you can only drive analog on wooden tracks, or otherwise it's not slot car racing, or oh, you must have magnets, otherwise blah blah blah. I've been on the magnet soapbox, but I'm stepped off it, and because if I enjoy magnets, I run magnets. If someone else doesn't, they don't. What's the big deal? Nobody is forcing anybody to do. There's no wrong way to slot car. Exactly, Todd. This is really it. And there's actually one wrong way, and it's to do it and not have fun, right? So just do it in a way that you have fun. I doubt I will ever get into wooden tracks and those controllers with the boxes and 4 cables coming out and 40 knobs. It's not going to happen. It's not my type of slot car racing. So for me, it's more about doing home racing, having fun, tuning the cars good enough so they don't de-slot and crash out all the time, that you can race with newbies and with more experienced people, so you can mix up with people. And what I do, if I have different levels of race car drivers, I give the ones that are better worse cars, and those that are not so good, they get better cars. So they get the better cars with maybe a little bit more magnets, so they can stick on the tracks, while me or one of my other friends here, who's also really good at slot car racing, we might drive without magnets just to make it more difficult for us. We can't speed up so it becomes more even. So it's kind of a handicap system. So that's what I wanted to have off my chest. Now I've said it. I've answered the question in a way that I feel I'm satisfied with the answer. I'm a little bit more enlightened, and feel that I don't have to argue any of the pros and cons, or yes or no's and so forth. Just let it be. Have fun. Do slot car. Hey Eric, good to see you. Welcome. I don't know, have I missed your Christmas track? I must come over and check your channel, because it feels like I have not seen your Christmas track. I've heard a lot about it, and knowing that you are into Christmas, I'm really curious to see what happens for this Christmas. Look, hey, Slot Pixels and Bugs. This channel, my friends, for those of you who are not visiting this guy, you have to go and check it out. Every Friday, like 1 hour before my start, he comes with news. And with YouTube now, it gets dubbed, so there's an English dubbed version. I don't know if it comes maybe a little bit later, but but Slot Pixels eBugs, best news channel. You get to see all the new cars. You get to see what's happening in different trade shows and swap meets in the market where slot car is really big. I mean, Spain, the rally scene is massive, but also the others. There's a lot of nice cars coming out of Spain. So go visit this channel. This is one of my absolute favorites. So I just saw Eric, no track yet. It's coming on the 20th, on Christmas Day. Oh wow! Okay, I'm definitely gonna check it out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So what's So Fast doing here? You rebuilt the track at the local hobby store. He's not interested in getting his customers into the hobby. Oh wow! Yeah. So you see, it's not mainstream, but that's okay. For us that are in the hobby, we are here, we are having fun. We are privileged in a way that we get to, we have access to so many nice cars, from the advanced slots, the sideways, the scale autos, the NSRs, etc., Scalectrics, the Carreras. We have all different price levels. If you want to buy cheaper cars, you can have really nice cheaper cars. Like typically Scalectrics, Carrera are a little bit less than the higher end, like the sideways, the advanced slots, etc. But you can adjust that, and you can buy as many or as few as you want. You don't have to go bananas like I maybe have done, because now I realize I don't have time to drive all of them, right? So yeah. Again, this I cannot emphasize. And you don't. If you know a little bit of Spanish, you can watch them as well, because then you get a little bit more information. But with YouTube's and the auto dubbing, just pop it on and it comes in English, and it sounds a little bit off sometimes because they have to translate and have a voice saying it, but it works fantastic. But so much news, so much good stuff in there, and and it's fun as well. It's very entertaining, so don't miss out on that. So that's one of my favorite channels. What else do we? Hola a todos. Yeah, hello to everybody. And what do we see? Oh, no drama. Hello, welcome. Look at that. I will recommend on the Monday show. Very good. Yeah, see, that's how we work. We help each other, we work together, we spread the news, and just go check it out. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff. The Big Five. I haven't made it to your Big Five or the five yet. Dang you, but you're still metal, Todd, you know it. I love you, guy. So we have a lot of fun. What else? There's a lot of highs and a lot of course, a couple of metals as well. Yeah, the Bo, of course, Bo is being the Wikipedia of slot cars. He knows where to get the information. He's in there, in that channel. So, oh, you're still working on? Yeah, I saw your update on your DIY Christmas decorations. That's so much fun. Typically normal comment from Fox and Wolves, bananas are good. Yeah. Oh, Todd, you don't have to. I mean, I'm not doing it for that. I'm the only reason why I'm doing this. It's good for my own mental health, and I get to chat with all these fun people online. So for me, you know, but lift up Slot Pixels and Bugs. That's because it's a really good channel. I really like that. So and for me, it's Friday. The weekend starts for me with this live. I get to chat with all your people. It's a cruel summer. Yeah, cruel summer. That's Bananarama, right? That's right. Yeah, I get to chat with you guys and talk a little bit slot car. It inspires myself as well and pushes me to do something every week, so I have something to talk about here, right? So it's a lot of fun, and we'll just make sure that we keep supporting each other's channels. We go and visit each other's channels and watch and throw in a like. They don't cost anything. And if we find out something new channels, spread the news so we others can also learn about it. And I think with that, we're getting close to the end. I think we had a pretty productive live. We did talk about Lando being the world champion now. We did talk about the Aussies and the law and what's going to happen over there. We did get an update on the Slotsync racing. So far I'm doing pretty good, and maybe that's a good thing. Don't join slot cars, because if too many good competent drivers join, I will be further down. No, of course you should join, and that's all a way for me to learn and become even better. I still have so much to learn about tuning and driving, and maybe one day I'll be able to drive and during a live as well without crashing and breaking the whole track. But it's fun, so much fun. We did also get an answer, right? Look out for Audi next year in the F1. Yeah, Audi and Cadillac, two new brands. It's going to be so exciting. And Slotsync will make you a better racer. Absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah, go ahead and try it. It's so much fun, and it gives you a purpose to race. Every week I have my 5 categories that I want to do. I need to do the race and I need to do endurance. So like now when we're done, I'm going to start doing, I only do 1 attempt on each endurance just to challenge myself. If I deslot and do a bad time, then that's what I report. Sometimes it's like racing. You don't get second starts. If you crash, you crash. Trying to keep it as realistic as possible. It's a lot of fun, but you have I'll be jumping on Discord after this. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be there. I'm gonna hit the loo and empty my bladder before I come in there, wolves. But so don't be patient. I will be there, and we can continue chatting. But I do have some endurance races I need to do before tomorrow, the end of tomorrow. And we now know slot car is a thing, but it's a different thing, and they are back, but in a different form. For anyone who's expecting the heydays of 60s, 70s, no, it's not going to be that good or bad, because there was not only good things. The things that are better now is that we have all these digital features, we have all these fancy models of cars with extremely detailed, fun cars to race with. So yeah, let's jump over to Discord and continue chatting, and give me a couple of minutes just to shut down the cameras in the room and empty my bladder, and I'll come and join you guys. So with that, I wish everybody a fantastic weekend, and thank you so much for joining in. I will be doing a live on the 18th, next Friday, so I'll be there, and before Christmas we'll see what we get. If people are busy doing Christmassy things, then so be it. But I'll be here at least. So, anywho, thank you so much, and thank you everybody in the chat for keeping it alive, and spread the word. Slot cars is a different thing, and we're back in a different form. So with that, thank you everybody.